I'm meeting Mr. Bellaire for cocktails and a chat about living in small town northern Michigan. All the ins, the outs, the highs, the lows, you know, all the stuff. And we're going to enjoy a few cocktails. And by the end, we have to do a little bit of editing, so stick with us. What's your story, Brian Hardy? So I'm here with Brian Hardy, Mr. Bellaire, which, by the way, I think I named you that.
You probably did.
I'm pretty sure I did. So we're here to find out what Brian's story is. Now, I know a lot of you know Brian, but do you know Brian? You were born and raised in Bellaire, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about your family. How many generations?
Oh, well, it goes all the way back to pre-naming of Bellaire and the incorporation of the village to one that was still a Native American outpost by the name of Keno.
Did you guys know that Bellaire used to be called Keno? Because I absolutely did not.
And I had a number of great aunts and uncles that had started businesses over here prior to it even becoming named Bellaire. It got turned into Bellaire because Elk Rapids was the county seat, and they were looking for someplace central to have a county seat, which is Bellaire. But things being the way they were then, they were concerned about having a Indian or a Native American name for the community. So between the Irish and the Scottish and some of the English and coming up with Bellaire, the folklore was that Bellaire means clean air, when in Celtic, Gaelic, it does not mean clean air, but we'll take it because it's worked now for 130 years.
Oh my gosh. That's all. Hey, do you want a drink?
Sure.
Hey, waitress lady, could we have a drink?
After the Civil War, the 1865s, 1870s, someplace in there is when a lot of my family started coming to the area. I had a great uncle that had a haberdashery right here in Keno.
A haberdashery?
Yeah.
No.
It was one of these buildings right here. I'm not even sure which one it is.
Do you have any of the leftover, like any of the stuff?
No, but that's a long time ago.
Well, I don't know. Like, I thought maybe there's like ash floating around.
I collect that kind of stuff.
So
my great-grandparents started their homestead here in the late 1800s and ended up having 12 kids right here in Bellaire.
Whoa.
12. My grandfather was number 10 out of 12, and he was born in 1916. So between 1899 and basically 1920, she had 12 kids. So talk about either you're pregnant or you're nursing or you're doing both, but yeah, 12
and
kids.
Do you have no air conditioning?
No.
Wow. Is that in the same house they've been, like your parents live in, or is that a different house?
No, the house was raised in 1970, 1971. Okay. The bank here in town that the county had that they just tore down recently, that was their homestead. My great-grandparents.
Really?
Yeah, their house address was on Cayuga.
So right by the police station.
Yeah, it was on Cayuga was their address.
Okay.
But it went all the way to the back to Broad Street, and my great-grandfather's blacksmith shop was back there. And then he worked for Malfi's blacksmithery, and then there was another blacksmith where True Value Hardware is at.
Oh my God.
And he worked all of those.
Do you guys have like a big chart in your house that flow charts all this?
No. Well, we could.
Like, honestly, I think you might be in the running for one of the top families that can go back and have so much land in downtown and all the stories.
Unfortunately, when my mother was, 9-10 years old, their house burned to the ground.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. I mean, not even clothing. So any documentation, photos, the only photos I have of my mother were from classmates of hers back in the 40s and 50s.
Wow.
That gave me copies or just gave me.
So did she go to like a one-room schoolhouse then, your mom? Or did she go to Bellaire?
It was Bellaire High School.
Okay.
And
all right.
I think everybody's seen pictures of the old high school with the bell tower on top. And then it had the fire escape slide down the side of the building. But and then it was added on to and eventually demolished.
So you're born. You're raised here. Did you ever leave?
Well, I did have an apartment in Saginaw when I was going to college in Saginaw Valley.
Okay.
Back in the 80s, but I came home every weekend to work because I worked up at Shanty Creek in order to pay my bills.
Gotcha. You went to Saginaw. Did you want to come back or?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was not even a question.
Never
Right.
a question.
Okay.
A lot of my classmates, when we graduated in '85, they took off for college and never came back.
Okay.
So I still take care of organizing our class reunions every 5 years. Our 40th is next summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I organize all that because I'm still here. In and out of food and beverage. I got into condominium association management for a number of years. Thus, the love for real estate, which took me 25 years to finally decide to go get my real estate license, which I have.
Yeah.
And currently, I'm still a realtor with Real Estate One.
And you just kind of started that back up. So let's go backwards. So you were at Shanty. What were you doing at Shanty?
The last job I had was assistant to the vice president over all 3 villages of Shanty Creek.
All right. Oh, Ryan's back for her cocktail order.
Right.
How about that watermelon martini? That'd be awesome.
Make that 2. We'll make it easy on you.
Wow. All right. So 2 watermelon martinis, please. I guess. Okay. So you were running all 3 of the villages.
It's Shanty Creek and food and beverage, yeah.
Okay.
I kept working as an office manager at the Methodist Church, and then I went over to Area Seniors Incorporated, which is ASI Community
Right.
Center Park, and I still hold that job because it's a part-time job in the morning.
I think we're missing like 12 of your jobs.
What did she say about the
Well, and I'm on-
martini? They don't do those.
They do. Yeah. Yep. They do.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Hey,
She's just interviewing me.
here's our neighbor table.
Just wait.
They're having the same cocktail as we are, so we love them already.
I got elected to village council, and I'm in my, 4-year term of that.
Okay, village council. He also plays the piano. He taught piano lessons. I think Brian's had 400 jobs, and we could list them all, but we would be into about our 12th drink. So we're not going to list every little job, but suffice it to say, Brian is omnipresent in Bellaire. If you say Brian, most people don't even need a last name.
Yeah,
I mean, it's true.
unfortunately.
Okay, so a couple of questions. Small town living. So you were in Saginaw, so you get big town, small town, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I never stayed there over a weekend once. The whole time I was down there, I came home.
So like, I know you go down to Fort Myers. After a couple of days, are you like, this has been awesome, but I need to go back home? Or are you good?
It used to be. I used to not take vacations at all because
Yeah.
I would panic. What am I missing? What should be taken care of? But you get older, and life has a way of throwing different challenges at you, and you just go, you know what? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So now I'm finding that a week down in at Punta Gorda, I go to my brother-in-law's.
Yeah.
But a week isn't long enough, so I'm going to see if I can go for a little longer next year.
Gotcha. All right. So small town. We're going to go back to that. What is the biggest challenge? And I'm not saying this trite. I'm not saying this like, ooh, seriously, what is the biggest challenge of living in a small town for you? Or what you see?
I mean,
Because for you, it might not be, because you're Mr. Wonderful and
For
you're
me personally,
Mr. Bellaire. So
it used to be accessibility to the big box stores.
Yeah.
But then Amazon came around, and I can order blue cheese stuffed olives and boxer shorts, and all comes in the same box and is left on my front doorstep.
I mean, we really don't have to leave our houses more than once a month here, and I don't even know what that would be for. Like if we want to socialize. So yeah.
I mean, I seriously cannot think of any challenges personally of living here. This place just continues to grow, and it just it's amazing. And as you can tell, I love to eat and drink, and there's many things to do around town with regards to that. So,
All right, what's 3 things we don't know about Brian Hardy? Give me one good one.
I'm a Virgo.
He's a Virgo.
I wasn't born with white hair. Do you know what color it was?
Would it be this sandy color there?
It was red. Red.
Oh, bright red?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much
Fire.
sense now that you were a firehead.
Yep, fire engine red.
Now we all know why he's like he is. So
One last thing people may not know, because I've been director at St. Luke's Catholic Church here in town for many years, playing piano and organ. And I'm not Catholic, I'm Methodist.
But that just goes to show what a community guy you are. Like, you just spread the love everywhere, right?
Well, they pay me a little bit, and they pay for my insurance too. So
Well, I mean, And part of that is the up north living. You've got to be an entrepreneur that wears like multiple hats if you're going to really make it up here for a length of time, I think.
You really do.
So, yeah.
And to keep yourself entertained and...
What do you do in the winter?
Drink.
We drink in Bellaire in the winter. So there's that.
But they say, you know, it takes a village, and it really does. And Trish knows because she's volunteered for so many things over the years. But the Memorial Day Parade that started here in 1948 was disbanded in 2019 because the American Legion folded because of lack of attendance. So they came to me because I'm on village council and asked if I would take that over, or the village, and it's not a village job. So myself as a citizen have taken it over, and we have the parade every year, and I MC it and do the whole thing. Same with the Veterans Luncheon that we have, which is a free lunch for veterans not on Veterans Day, but very close to Veterans Day in November. I organize all of that. You just got to do it. You got to help your community out.
Well, and I would say the same thing. What I think people from big cities or even, small cities don't get is you can be the normal citizen. You can be walking down the street and somebody's sick and there's a parade or there's something going on in town and you just jump in. And I know normal people don't get that because they're like, well, that's an assigned job or that's a paid job. I couldn't jump in, and here there's not an option for that, or that event may not happen. Or you might be in a restaurant and it gets absolutely packed. You might be back in that restaurant washing dishes because that's your friend who owns the restaurant. Yeah. And we help our friends here, and that's a big, big deal to us. So that's one of my things, is you just hop in. And I think a lot of people just can't even envision.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things I'm hearing a lot of, there's a lot of people downstate who still don't really know about our area, whatnot. And I thought it was fascinating. There was 250 comments on a Facebook group this Saturday. And one of the bigger questions most asked was, what else is there to do up north? Which I couldn't believe because I thought we were not a hidden gem anymore.
We're really not.
I mean, it blew, like literally, I'm like, what? And the second question was, what is Torch Lake? And it absolutely floored me.
It's the fourth most beautiful lake in the world via National Geographic.
But, that's a sidebar.
Yeah.
And we like to have entertaining times out on the lake. So that's another story. But so if you told someone a couple things you could do up here besides, I guess, boating, because that was what this post was about, what would you tell them?
Oh my gosh. The boating, yes. Golf. There's golf courses everywhere.
Yeah.
You're within 5 minutes of a golf course.
It's like a virus up here. Like, you can't get rid of it. So.
Truly. If you're a kayaker, this is the place to come. If you canoe, if you fish, if you're looking at the larger species of fish, we've got them in the lakes up here, or we're just a few minutes from Lake Michigan. There's biking, walking trails, hiking. Ooh, those look good.
Spicy watermelon.
Well, we got to take a minute and do a cheer.
Yes.
Look at this. Chloe's is killing it. Cheers.
Looks delish.
Oh my God. Oh Lord Jesus. Holy baby Jesus. What do you think?
It is awesome.
Oh my God. It's like a party in your mouth. Like if you didn't have a date. And I won't go into detail, but this could be your date. I'm just saying.
And it probably won't even take 2 or 3 of them.
No. I mean, we could find dates in Bellaire after this, and there's only about 1,000 people here. Yeah. Brian and I each have a request for editing. His is his stomach, mine, and there's nothing there, so I don't know what he's talking about. And I don't know what mine is, but we ordered a second drink, so.
Yes.
This is so again. Good. Shalom. All right.
Would be nice if they could just do samples of every single one.
Wouldn't that be great? Like when you go to one of those fried ass restaurants,
Oh yeah.
And they're like, we'll do a sampler platter, but it's actually good stuff. I mean, it's a good idea.
I did the shrimp cocktail Thursday night when I was in.
Yeah.
And they're nice big prawns.
How many times have you been here?
three times.
Yeah.
I try to spread the money around town, you know.
You heard it first here. Brian spreading the money around town. So I'm just saying, Daddy's dishing it out. All right, so let's get a little more in depth about the Bellaire situation. So you hang around with, you got a little posse you hang around with, but you hang around with everybody.
Oh yeah.
That's what I love about you. Like I could go out and see with different people. Same. Like some of my best people are like 30 years older than me because I'm like, there's just no drama. They're like, listen, I don't like what you're saying, and I got to go to bed. Yeah. And I just had 4 cocktails, and it's 7 o'clock, and I make no excuses. Thank you. Good night. I love that.
No, but
I want to be that.
You and I have so much in common with the fact that we can be with somebody that's 20 years older and we can connect. Mm-hmm. Kids that are 30 years younger. I mean, my nieces and nephews, all of their contemporaries are like family number one, but they all include me. Anytime any of them are in town, I get a phone call or, hey, what about dinner on Friday night?
Right.
And it's incredible. Yeah, and then, you know, my church friends that we hang out. Mm-hmm. And again, here's another little secret is we do Bible studies on Tuesday nights at the Methodist Church. And then my friend Mary always sets up a dinner reservation at Tooney's afterwards, or Shorts Brewing Company. And there can be 25, 30 of us that all go to dinner after Bible study. So, you know, you don't have to be holier than thou to go to Bible study and not go and enjoy fellowship and your friends and a cocktail and dinner.
Well, and that's another thing about living up north is we have to do a lot of manual labor. You know, we're filling in the gaps, we're helping out, we're doing our thing for our own places, and we try to always pair it with something that's fun. And that's what I love about that. You know, we might have, you know, a checklist of 50 things we have to do because the snowstorm's blowing in. But then, you know, we'll go out to dinner, we'll go out to lunch, we'll meet at somebody's house. You've got to make it fun or
you'll go nuts.
You'll go crazy. Yeah. Have you ever had a winter where it was so bad you were like, I can't?
I'm so used to it. I mean, I survived the blizzard of 78 out at my parents' house on Clam Lake. I mean, the blizzard of 79, the blizzard of 77. Ooh, look who beat me. And those were winters back then. You know, when a plow truck does not come down your road for 4 days. And I remember I was probably 11, 12 years old, got in the back of my dad's snowmobile, went up Clam Lake Road, down Miley's Hill, across Lake Bellaire to Fisherman's Paradise, up 88 downtown to the grocery store. Dingman's grocery store was where True Value is now, just to get bread and milk, you know, the staples. And then, you know, in the middle of it really wasn't in the middle of a blizzard. The bad stuff was already gone. They just weren't able to get things cleared out. So
I talked to an old timer. Okay, I did a little blog a while ago talking about things in Bellaire, and one of the interesting things I found out was back in the day, and I don't know what that meant, but back in the day in the alley in Bellaire, they used to have freezer lockers.
Oh yeah.
And the kids, their first thing in the morning, they get up and their mom would tell them what she's making for dinner, and they go down to these freezer lockers and get out the meat or whatever they needed and then run it back home. Did you have that?
Because we had the grocery store.
Okay.
But my mom would remember that.
Okay, yeah, because it was her generation who I was talking to.
Because back in the 40s, when my mother was younger, there was I'm pretty sure it was 4 or 5 grocery stores right on Main Street.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Were they all like fresh groceries or what?
A lot of it was fresh groceries. There was a butcher house that my dad worked at over in Mansalona, so a lot of the meats were brought over from Mansalona.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was like 4 grocery stores right on Main Street. So that's one thing that kind of gets with me sometimes. Oh, we've got another hardware store that went in. Oh, we've got Tractor Supply that's gone in.
Oh, yeah.
People upset. How many of these places should we have? Blah, blah, blah. Number one, being on Village Council, I know that we don't allow anything. It's private businesses. It's private property. The village has nothing to do with it.
Well, it's either commercial or residential, right?
We just care about getting the taxes.
Right.
And providing safety.
I think a lot of people don't really understand. Let's talk about that because that might help clarify exactly what you're saying. So on a village council, you're really there to enforce what's on your books, right?
Yeah. Zoning,
Okay.
keeping an eye on zoning. And we do have to rezone certain districts, and we're looking at rezoning a district out to the east of
Well,
town.
that's because life changes.
Yeah, and you got to be flexible.
So you
with
have
it.
to be, especially in a small town, but that's hard for anybody listening because you have people that get on these stumps, right? And this is what we're going to do. And if you don't do this, it's wrong. And what I'm trying to do in my daily life, which it's a fail many days,
No.
is live in the muddy waters of life isn't this or this, it's kind of this. And we all have to hop on board and be a little more tolerant and show grace. I don't know. And village council has got to be a thankless job.
It is, but
Not always, but you know what I mean.
well, I look back at the plague of 2020 when the state was shutting down and these poor businesses could not open the doors.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get to-go orders and such. Well, a couple of restaurateurs came to the village council and asked if we would put an ordinance out where we would allow open intoxicants on the streets of Bellaire.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And so, that passed unanimously. We did not want to hinder any business whatsoever. So it's things like that keep us floating.
Round two.
Round two, babe.
I can drink that like water.
God,
Is there alcohol in that?
I don't think so.
Oh my God. You got to try these drinks at Chloe's. Just say, I want that thing. It's got a jalapeno hanging it. Don't worry about it. Just order it. Just say jalapeno drink.
And this one is raspberry this time, and Trish got strawberry.
Strawberry. Oh my God. Yep. I don't need a date tonight. I got my date.
Yeah.
Woo. Wow. Yeah. So they came and they said, hey, let's have an open area, right? Because that's the only way you could probably overcome some of the distancing and all that stuff. See? They listen to the people.
Try 'em.
So I'd like to show you Chloe's bread boat.
They're fabulous.
I have not tried the bread boat, but I'm about to. It's lovely. Oh my God. I could do this all day.
I know, but I keep getting it.
Yeah, I got hot pepper on my lips. Nobody's going to want to kiss me later. The captain's going to give me a thumbs down.
Unless he's drinking himself right now.
Well, he'll be here in a little bit.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Get a little captain.
So yeah, small town living. It can be easy, and it can also be on the challenging side. To Trish's point, life is not A or B. It's not Republican, Democrat. It's not politics. It's got to be give and take. When we're all human, we're all made out of the same fiber, the same cells, and it's just easier for me to, if I know I have to avoid topics with individuals, I will avoid that to be able to spend time and enjoy them as a person. So, and just being compassionate for other people's thoughts and ideas, because
I agree.
not everybody's going to think I'm exactly right about everything.
Well, I think we have to look at people and say, hey, there might be this little pocket I don't agree with, or that's not my thing. Doesn't even have to be a disagreement. But in the big picture, it's like, you're so fun. I want to go have a cocktail. I want to go have dinner with you. I want to go on a hike with you. And I don't know why we stay on these little things that are there, do or die. And so our whole goal is to bring people together. And yeah, I'm not doing a kumbaya.
We will sing at the end.
Yeah,
of
we
this
will sing at the
episode.
end after I don't even know what drink. But it's a great way to just say, hey, we have to give each other permission to just have fun with each other.
Yeah.
We don't have to love everything or agree. Just have fun. I don't know. So
I will drink to that.
Absolutely.
It's fun.
I know, I told you. And once you have about the third drink, it's like really fun. Let me ask you, so now we're all mature. I'm just going to leave it there. And one of my things is, I feel like I'm starting to understand life after 50 some odd years. But it's taken me. And now my body's falling apart.
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yeah, bulging disc, having a hard time standing, walking, but...
I mean, do you get out of bed and you're like, oh my God, this hurts?
No, because I have to do umpteen stretches before I can even get out of bed.
So are you laying in bed, like, doing all this stuff?
Yeah, all these up things, almost like a gentle yoga in bed to loosen up the midsection so I can get out of bed and move. So,
Wow.
not fun.
So if you had a dirty little secret, what would it be? Like, or like if you have an event or a story that you're like is a little sketch. You got any of those?
Yeah.
Can you share any or
No.
Oh my God. I've got some.
And
But
eventually half the people that are watching this will probably go, I know.
I was there.
I know.
I was there with Brian. I helped him do that dirty little thing. So cheers to them.
And then he has to pretend like he knows
like,
Doug.
Doug.
It's me.
All right.
Cocktail here.
I just want to show you this beauty.
In the jumbo shroom.
Chloe's is killing it.
Would you like another round?
Yes, we would.
Yes, please.
Here's my last question, and I ask everybody this question. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is a local? Isn't that crazy?
Yes. Tough
Every
question.
person has a different answer. Every person.
Well, one of my teachers from high school here in town, who's now lived here for probably 42 years, every time I see him, he still says that he does not consider himself a local after 42 years. And I was just laugh about it because I've got no pre-assuming notion that just because my family's been here for 100 generations means that I'm local.
Yeah.
There could be somebody out there that has been here even longer than my family. But as long as you want to be here, live here, contribute to the community, and hold each other up in a favorable fashion, then I consider you a local.
See, I always thought you had to bear a child by someone who'd been here for 2 generations or more, have the child, and then live in the community 20 plus years and do some community things, and then there would be a secret group who voted on you.
Well, if that's true, that's the first time.
You haven't heard about that?
No, I'm not on
Okay.
that committee to vote. So,
Well, we're going to thank Brian because he's given us a lot of insight, a little bit of tea, a little bit of dirt, but always just his whole heart and soul in Bellaire. So thank you, Brian.
thank you, Trish.
We're waiting on our next drink, so.
Yes, coming up.
Yep. Hey, the captain's coming. He was just on a cruise all day. Look at him.